En segundos, Jasmine Crockett dominated John Roberts' comitate attempt. Oh, ¿y tú crees que lo viste todo? Hold on, porque esto va a cambiar tu forma de ver la política en vivo. La room estaba tensa, filled with anticipación. Everyone knew something explosivo was about to happen. Jasmine Crockett, calm yet fierce, stepped up to confront a seasoned and powerful figure. John Roberts was there, attempting to assert control, pero no one expected the firepower coming his way. Everyone leaned in, waiting, whispering, tratando de predecir el outcome, pero nadie imaginaba lo que pasaría. From the very start, the stakes were sky high. This wasn't just another hearing. This was a moment where precision, intellect, and nerves collided. Jasmine knew the law, she knew strategy, and more importantly, she knew cómo desmantelar un argumento piece by piece. Her opponents might have been seasoned, pero underestimating her, that was the biggest mistake they could make. And the tension in the room, it was palpable, almost electric. She opened with a calm, deliberate tone. Every word measured, every pause intentional. She didn't just speak, she commanded attention. The committee room went quiet as she laid out her case, calmly challenging every assumption. The reporters leaned forward, pens poised, capturing every nuance. The opposition shifted uncomfortably, sensing that this wasn't going to be ordinary. Boom! The first point hit like a cannon. Roberts tried to interrupt, tried to regain control, pero Jasmine lo cortó en seco. Her argument was structured, precise, a combinación de lógica y moral autoridad. Each sentence landed with weight. Each counterpoint made it clear she wasn't here to negotiate. She was here to shatter the narrative. The room gasped, and whispers began spreading like wildfire. Social media was already heating up. But what happened next? That's when it got even more dramatic. She paused, letting the silence hang for a heartbeat longer than comfortable. Then she struck again, pinpointing inconsistencies in the opposition's statements. One by one, the arguments fell. Each rebuttal from Roberts was met with calm, undeniable logic. Boom, destroyed, gone. The room was on edge. You could almost feel the collective intake of breath. And just when people thought it might settle, she hit the emotional core. She didn't just present law, she presented justice, accountability, and clarity. She showed that beneath the procedures and protocols, there is a responsibility to truth. Her delivery was impeccable, confident, unwavering, yet inviting the room to reflect. The reaction was instant. Journalists were scribbling notes frantically. Observers whispered, "Did you see that?" Midway through, she pivoted seamlessly, turning what could have been technical drudgery into a compelling narrative. She made the law human, she made it relatable, and she exposed the cracks in Roberts' approach with such finesse that it was impossible to ignore. You could see it in his face. He hesitated, recalibrating, trying to regain composure, but the momentum had shifted completely. Twitter erupted immediately, trending with clips of her statements, memes, and reactions from legal experts. Headlines were calling it a warning shot. Now, the suspense builds again. Just when you think it's over, Jasmine delivers another blow. She highlights key evidence, interprets statutes, and then layers her argument with emotional intelligence. Her tone remained calm, her pacing deliberate. Each sentence was a strike, each pause a challenge. And Roberts, he tried to respond, but it was clear she had not only anticipated every argument, she had neutralized them with precision. The room could feel it. Everyone could feel it. The way she structured her points was masterful. Logical sequences, legal precedents, ethical reasoning, all interwoven with rhetorical finesse. You could hear the subtle gasps, the shifting of papers, the involuntary nods. And in between, she sprinkled Española's frases, connecting with a wider audience and adding a dynamic layer to her delivery. Boom! En segundos, the crowd reacted, caught between disbelief and awe. Her approach wasn't just intellectual, it was tactical. She employed the art of suspense, building anticipation, and then delivering powerful lines that left no room for rebuttal. Every counterpoint she raised was met with silence or an awkward murmur. Each moment reinforced her dominance, her command of the room. And the reactions weren't just from Roberts. Colleagues, assistants, even the observers were visibly impressed, recognizing the rare combination of expertise and presence. By now, the tension had reached a crescendo. Jasmine's strategy was clear: control the narrative, assert the facts, and maintain composure. And she did it. Every pause, every word, every glance. Roberts attempted a rebuttal, but it lacked impact. She had anticipated it, she had prepared for it, and more importantly, she had executed it flawlessly. The room's energy shifted. It was no longer a hearing, it was a masterclass in courtroom strategy. Suspense again. She drops the bombshell. Highlighting a key procedural error, she turns the tables completely. Robert's attempts to interrupt were met with calm, unflinching resistance. The argument was no longer a back and forth. It had become a showcase of mastery, where every word from Jasmine Crockett carried weight, authority, and undeniable clarity. The observers were riveted, knowing they were witnessing something historic. Her closing arguments weren't just persuasive, they were devastating. Each phrase carefully chosen, each pause timed for maximum effect. She didn't just win points, she won the narrative. And in that moment, you could see it on Robert's face: acknowledgement, realization, a flicker of hesitation. She had not only dominated the debate, she had controlled the room, the perception, the outcome. Boom, destroyed, gone. The words echo in the room. But the aftermath was just as striking. As she walked away from the podium, reporters rushed to capture her remarks. Social media exploded. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, clips were shared thousands of times within minutes. Hashtags trended, commentary flowed endlessly. Analysts dissected every sentence, praising her strategic brilliance. Headlines called it a masterclass, a warning shot, a demonstration of legal dominance. Everyone was talking about Jasmine Crockett, and she wasn't done. She continued to project confidence, grace, and authority. Each interaction post-hearing was calm, poised, reinforcing the moment. Questions came at her from every direction, but she handled them effortlessly, maintaining the momentum. Her presence alone commanded attention. Her articulation of facts, her composure under pressure, it was inspiring. Boom, in vivo, the crowd couldn't get enough. Another suspense hook. She drops one final revelation. A subtle detail overlooked by others became her ultimate leverage. She highlighted it with precision, timing, and clarity, leaving the opposition scrambling. Robert's reaction was telling: a pause, a hesitation, a momentary loss of footing. And that's when it hit everyone in the room. Jasmine Crockett wasn't just present, she was in control. She had orchestrated every moment, every argument, and every reaction. As the minutes passed, the room slowly came to terms with what had just happened. Colleagues whispered, "Did you see that?" Observers marveled of her strategy, her timing, her command of law and rhetoric. The impact wasn't just in the words, it was in the presence, the delivery, the confidence. And the ripple effects were immediate. Analysts would later call it one of the most compelling comité appearances in recent history. Finally, she concluded with poise. A reminder that control, preparation, and strategy could overcome even the most established opposition. Her closing lines weren't just powerful, they were unforgettable. The audience absorbed every word, every nuance, knowing they had witnessed brilliance in action. Boom, shattered, dominated. The room had shifted forever. Social media buzzed, commentators analyzed, and viewers everywhere felt the gravity of the moment. And as the dust settled, one thing was clear. Jasmine Crockett had not only dominated John Roberts' committee attempt, she had set a new standard. Her combination of intellect, strategy, and presence made history in real time. She had captivated everyone, controlled the narrative, and left no doubt about her capability and authority. This wasn't just a hearing. This wasn't just a debate. This was a masterclass in power, law, and poise. So if you witnessed it, you know, this moment wasn't just memorable, it was unforgettable. And for those who missed it, don't worry. The clips, the commentary, the reactions, they're everywhere. But nothing compares to understanding the skill, the strategy, the timing that Jasmine Crockett employed. Comment below if you think she destroyed him, if you think this was her most dominating performance yet. Subscribe, because moments like this don't come often, and when they do, you want front row access. And remember, en segundos, todo puede cambiar.